What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. My name is Dash Lifestyle. Kindly for watching me for the first time, remember to subscribe, like, share and also comment. To my returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back and watching my video. Thank you so much for the love and support, and greetings to my brothers and sisters all the way from Caribbean country. So guys, in today's video I want us to listen to this interview from the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore. He has come out and sent a warning and lecture some of the African leaders, and also I'm passing this to Caribbean leaders, Jamaican leaders, the Haiti leaders. So kindly guys, I want you to watch this video till the end, then I'll be back with more comment.
Mr. President, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Thank you for taking part in this exercise on Radio Burkina through the program Antenne Directe before collecting the first questions from listeners. Excellency, this is the first time that you have spoken directly to the whole of Burkina Faso through the airwaves of Radio Burkina. How do you feel about sharing this moment of direct dialogue with Burkina Faso?
Thank you very much. Good morning, dear parents, dear brothers and sisters, listeners of Radio Burkina. Thank you, madam, for this opportunity that is once again given to us to be able to commune directly with the people. I think it is a real pleasure. And it is also a moment for me to be able to understand today, at the stage we are at, the current aspirations of the people, and to be able to readjust our program, if we can say so.
Barsalgo, the listeners would like to know how you experienced this situation.
Okay. Thank you, madam. I would say that this is really current. The issues of destabilization are current issues. Before we embark on this mission, I think that there are a certain number of risks that we must measure and accept to assume. And among these risks, there is the fact of not succeeding in the mission for which we came. So when we come, it is either it makes or breaks. Thank God we were able to succeed in the mission, to be able to imprint our vision of things on our country. After that, the other risk is to agree to abandon everything. We cannot, as a young person, be there at the top of the state and perhaps want to find myself under manguettes, eating rusumbala like the others. That is to say, agree to forget one's youth, agree to forget life, and devote oneself entirely to the homeland. One of the risks is this situation that we are experiencing, destabilization, because if you want to right the ship of such a country, you are bound to crack down. By cracking down, to right it, you create internal and external enemies. We must therefore expect this situation of destabilization, assassination, and everything, because we have affected the interests of many people. There is social inequality, there is corruption, there is poor management of public affairs. If we try to want to right all that, we are bound to affect the individual interests of certain people. These people very often are rich, have money, and use this to manipulate people who are often poorer than them, to turn them against us. That is internal. These same people do not hesitate to join forces with the imperialist forces that spend their time encouraging us to become poorer. Our thinking is these external forces. There are many countries today that we have under our backs, and we have no choice, we have to do it. If we want our homeland to be independent, if we want our sovereignty, if we want the Burkinabés to eat their fill, if we want our children to go to school without paying a franc, if we want malaria, which is one of the most widespread diseases in Burkina Faso, to be able to treat our population on certain words at 0 francs. These are some of the dreams that we have, but we will have to make many concessions. We will have to prevent certain powers from plundering us, and that creates many enemies. So, we are prepared for this situation. We experience them as normal, in fact. It does not shake us, it does not scare us. It still gives us the courage to move forward, because through these events, We know that the guideline that we have chosen is the best line for our homeland, for our people. We experience things like that. The plotters currently, we have spent 2 years raising awareness, talking, warning. People found that we were warning too much. But it was necessary so that the Burkinabés could see for themselves how far some Burkinabés can go against the homeland. If we had started to crack down in a certain way from the beginning, it is not obvious that you yourself will understand us. You will perhaps say, after a while, there may be misunderstanding. I think that Captain Thomas Sankara was misunderstood at one point, perhaps because they started strong. But we had to let the people see, understand what these plotters are, communicate with the people through everything we have done. Today, I think that people have understood a lot.
The listener from Bopo Duraso would like to know what fate is reserved for these conspirators.
As we said, from this moment on, I will not go into details. Everyone will assume. If someone takes steps like that, they assume all the consequences. We will not advise anyone or warn anyone again. So,
we will come back to the case of Barsalgo. There is a listener who would like to know what really happened in Barsalgo.
I'm not going to go into details, but Barsalgo, I think I was personally targeted because Barsalgo and I, there is a history. Barsalgo and the situation in the country, there is a history. In June 2022, you may be able to find out on the spot in Barsalgo, I defied many orders to intervene so that Barsalgo would not fall. So I sacrificed a lot of things anyway in Barsalgo. This is the place for me to thank many people who supported us in our maneuver so that Barsalgo would be. I think they targeted Barsalgo because it would affect me. That's it. That was the goal. I'm not going to go into certain details, but maybe one day we will have the opportunity to talk about it. Okay?
Your reaction to the political orientation speech of the late Captain Thomas Sankara. It is a concern of the Ilbudo fields of Uwagako.
That's true. We also chose the date of October 2nd for the launch of the Patriotic Days of Patriotic Commitment. It is precisely to collaborate with the DOP because this speech was a reference. I think that some countries far from our sub-region have used this reference to develop. They make us understand it because they have cooked a lot of things from this speech. This news, we are inspired by it, and we adapt to the context too, because that is what was. Perhaps there are certain things in '83 that can no longer be done today, but we adapt it as we go along. And as we said, Thomas Sankara was too far ahead of his time, and I think that all of this means that he was not understood. He was not understood because he saw things that others did not have the possibility of seeing. His vision was much further ahead. But today, we realize that we should have. We should have. Every time these are the questions we ask ourselves. Shouldn't we have? Shouldn't people have? But hey, it's already over, but I think it's a current discourse. It's the same vision for total sovereignty of our country. And I think we have to be part of this momentum.
Thank you. Madame, Sir, you are following Antenne Directe Special with President Dufasu live from the Kulba Palace on Adieu Burkina. You can interact with President Dufasu by calling 25 30 49 93 and 25 33 33 37. Mr. President, we will now focus on a crucial subject, security and defense. And for this, we find Hervé Cabor again to answer the questions and concerns of the listeners. Hervé Cabouret is not available. Mr. President? Yes. So, before Hervé Cabouret finds us, I would like to know what the morale of the troops is with these inclinations of destabilization.
I would say that the morale of the troops is high because committing to defend the homeland, you know, when you are a soldier, there is another natural state of mind that is there within the army. getting up, taking your backpack, your weapon, and going to the front, it is not given to everyone. But generally in the mind of the soldier, when he leaves, it is with pride that he leaves. He knows what can happen, but it is with pride that he leaves. And today, with what we have put in place, it is that we try to make an effort through the support of the people. Many soldiers are really proud to be soldiers. That is so that it gives body and soul.
So guys, I hope you have listened to that interview from Ibrahim Traore and Radio Burkina. Ibrahim Traore is very known here in Africa. He is the youngest African president, and also he has managed to achieve some of the things that other African presidents who have stayed in power for more than 30 or for more than 50 years, they have not achieved. And right now, Ibrahim Traore is being targeted by the West. The West, they are not happy because of what Ibrahim Traore is doing in his country. And also, guys, I want to react on what he has come out and say in this interview. First of all, he has tried to send a message to the African leaders. And also, I want this message to go also to Caribbean leaders, to some of the Caribbean leaders, the Haiti leaders, the Jamaican leader, the Barbados leaders. I want this message also to be seen by some of the Caribbean leaders, not only in Africa, where we have a black country or a black country. I want the leaders to start following the footsteps of Ibrahim Traore, and that's why I have decided to share this video with my Caribbean family, with my Caribbean leaders, with my Jamaican and Haiti leaders. I want to tell you that you have seen Ibrahim Traore. He has come out and say, first of all, the West, they are still destabilizing some of the African country, simply because these people, they don't want African country to grow. These people, they don't want to leave African's country being independent. Not only in Africa, you can see what it is happening in Haiti. You can see what it is happening in Jamaica. Right now, I can tell you that Jamaica, it is not yet fully independent. You can go and see the head of state. They are still the colonizers. The colonizers, they are still the head of state in Jamaica. This is to tell you that Jamaicans, they were given a fake independence. They were given a fake freedom. But you can see up to date, the colonizers, they are still benefiting from the Jamaican resources. They are also controlling some of the resources from Jamaica. And you can see this is the reasons to why these people, they don't want to leave Jamaica. These people, they are destabilizing Jamaica. They don't want to see Jamaica developing. They don't want to see Jamaican growing, because these people, they fear. The same way what is happening in Haiti. The Haitian people, they are fighting for their country simply because the colonizers or the West people, they are the ones who started this war which it is happening in Haiti. They were turning their leaders to be puppets. They were turning their leaders to sell out their country. The leaders, they were working for the colonizers instead the leaders to work according to the will of the people. And that's why this whole fight which it is going on in Haiti, it is because the Asian people, they are tired seeing their country, the resources of their country being taken away from their country to the other country. These people, they are fighting their country back. They want to enjoy the benefit of their country. They want to become a full independent country. They don't want their leaders to be controlled from outside. And that is one of the reasons to why the Haiti people, they are fighting. And that's why I've decided to share this video with the Caribbean people to see what it is happening in their country and also here in Africa. You have heard what Ibrahim Traore has come out and say. Some of the African countries, they are being destabilized. These people, they don't want to leave some of the African country because they know when these people, they will leave Africa, it will become, it will develop, and also it will become one of the strongest continent in the world, because African, we have all resources. These people, they don't want to leave Africa because they know Africa, we have all the resources. We have minerals, we have gold, we have oil. So Africa, we are the richest continent, and that's why these people, they don't want to leave Africa. They are trying so hard to destabilize our country because they don't want our leaders to make sure that our country is developing. Because if Africa it will become together, if Africa it will develop, there is no need of us black people going to their country to work. This is one of the things that they fear about Africa. And also, you have heard what Ibrahim Traore has come out and say. I told you that Ibrahim Traore, his life is in danger simply because the West, they are not happy to see what Ibrahim Traore is doing. First of all, just to tell you that Ibrahim Traore, he has managed to send the colonizers out of his country. He has managed to change the system. He's removing right now the colonizer system. Like he has come out the other day, he came out and introduced a new African school uniform. He has abolished the school uniform which it was introduced by the colonizers in his country. And also, he's changing the national anthem of his country not to be in French, but to be in the local language. This is to tell you that Ibrahim Traore is very, very tired with the colonizers. He's very tired with the West. And also, right now, the West, they are not happy to see what Ibrahim Traore is doing. Ibrahim Traore is being targeted by the West because the West, they fear that Ibrahim Traore is going to influence some of the African leaders. And also, when Ibrahim Traore has managed to influence some of the African leaders, the West, the African leaders will not depending from the colonizers from the West, because we as African, we have the resources, we can work on our country and we can develop our country. Our continent can become rich without going to these other, without going to the West country, to the colonizers country. And that's one of the reasons to why Ibrahim Traore is being targeted by the West. The West, they don't want to see Ibrahim Traore spreading his wing, waking up African leaders. And also, this is one of the reasons to why they don't want to see Ibrahim Traore spreading what he's doing in Burkina Faso. And just to tell you that we as African people, we as black people, we are really tired with the colonizers. The other day, I told you that African youth, they are waking up. Right now, we want some young leaders. Africans, we want young leaders who they know what they are doing, who they are really tired of the West people, the colonizers, because we as African as a country, we have been having these old leaders. Imagine there's some African leaders who they have stayed in power for more than 30 years, for more than 50 years, and you can see what the things that they have done while they are in power. There is nothing they have done. So right now, I told you that the revolution, it has started in Africa. Revolution, it has started in some of the African country. We want to remove, first of all, these old leaders, the leaders who have been staying in power and they have done nothing. We want to remove them. We want a young leaders like Ibrahim Traore, a leader who is focused and a leader who knows exactly what the people they want. The same way what it is happening in Jamaica. You can see the current government of Jamaica. So many Jamaicans, they are really tired with the current government because there is a lot of corruption going on. The government, it is not working according to the will of the people. So many people, they are crying. There's no, when you go to the healthcare, there's no good hospital. The teachers are not being paid. The children, they are not going to school. They are not learning. They don't have a conducive environment to learn because there is a crime each and every corner of the street. This is tell you that the government, it is not working according to the will of the people, and it is the highest time that we should call our leaders, our Caribbean leaders, our African leaders, to wake up and start to work according to the will of the people. This message that Ibrahim Traore has come out and say, Ibrahim Traore he's always telling African leaders to not depending on the West. Ibrahim Traore, he has proved that we can do it without depending without depending to the colonizers' country. We can still make it without getting loan from outside, from the IMF, from the China. We as African, we can develop our country without being helped from the West people, from the white people. But I know some of the African leaders, they are betraying us because they are being bribed by the West people. They are being bribed so that they can betray us, so that they can sell out our country, so that they cannot work according to the will of the people. And it is the highest time for us African, or for us black people, we need to come together, we need to unite so that we can become strong, and also so that we can, these people can have a respect to our country. I told you that I'm waiting at that time when the African will be given opportunity to print its own money, because I know it is very hard, it will be very difficult for these people to let Africa printing its own money, because they know that if we will be printing our own money and we have our resources, African, it will become the richest continent. Africa, it will be it will develop than their country, and that's why they don't want to see Africa printing its own money. So kindly guys, subscribe if you haven't, like this video, share, and also comment. See you on my next one. Bye bye.